In Miyamoto Musashi's Book of Five Rings, the legendary martial art practitioner and very storied and accomplished and some would say wise individual, Miyamoto Musashi emphasizes, think on this deeply. He says this phrase repeatedly. But what does it mean to think on something deeply? And what applicability does that have to Little Wargame? Well, Little Wargame is also a game where thinking deeply actually rewards a great deal of what you want to do, because most of the time the advice you're given when you want to improve is just play more. But that's not wholly useful advice, right? If the context of your practice is actually negative, if the things that you are doing are not helping you or they're actively impeding your progress, then it does little good to emphasize this idea of, oh, you could just keep playing more and you'll be fine. It's all about the right kind of practice. It's all about the practice that you instill in yourself and the ways in which you go about a skill improvement as opposed to repeating the old. If you simply repeat the old, you will never improve. If you never try anything new, you will also be very unlikely to reach the zenith of your skills. But the point of relevance for all of this is, of course, the map that's being played in the background right now, Wave Defence AA4 by PranksterGangster. PranksterGangster, by his own admission, was an individual who wasn't particularly successful in the macro context of Little Wargame. He didn't have a lot of experience in playing the macro side of it to the level that he would have felt comfortable, and he basically made a mod, the whole strength of the mod being, this is a place where you can go and practice your individual skills so that you can improve. At the start of the mod, you choose what race or what faction is firing units up against you, whether it's Beast, Mech, or Rax. As the game progresses, you have more and more instances of enemy units attacking you. They come in greater and greater force, and some of them require more micro, focus, game attention, awareness, and other aspects. What makes this different from simply playing more is that this is playing more. That is the same. However, the mechanism for doing it is quite different. People are more apt to learn if they are in an environment that they feel is fun and relaxing. If you tell someone, here, you're going to play this macro game style, you're going to practice this build, you're going to do it 100 times. Yeah, that's not exciting for most people. It takes a very particular mind to enjoy that kind of challenge and to accept it on its face. However, if you could say, hey, the challenge is to see how long you can survive, and the means by playing the game is a masquerade for the skills that you're building, then hey, all of a sudden we can see why people, I'm going to fail this flash. We can see why people would want to play such a thing. It's very common in other RTSs and for other games for people to emphasize those skills, for the people to say things like, oh, well, we're just going to lose that unit. Yep. It's very common for people to do things such as emphasize, oh, but we're going to do this because it's going to improve your skill. We're going to put you through this small exercise that you can repeat for great justice, basically, to improve your skill in a way that's fun and meaningful and concentrated. It's all about the concentration of practice. It's all about the focus point of the practice. And Wave Defence AA4 being made as a mod by an esteemed modder in the community for the purpose of improving his own macro gameplay is exactly the kind of tip that you need if you want to get from, let's say, 1 to 10 to 3 of 10, or if you're at 4 of 10 and you really want to show that you should be at 5 of 10, like a certain unnamed person recording this very video.